Continuing on with Wedding Week here on Morning Live. All things are going green, including the biggest day of your life. Green weddings are all the rage, and it can be anything from the flowers in your bouquet to the vehicle that whisks you away. Joining us now is editor Allison McGill with Wedding Bells magazine, and she's got a lot more on green weddings. And you're very emphatic that this hopefully is not a trend.
Right. We really had to say that green weddings are a trend at Wedding Bells because it's really a lifestyle commitment. So the couple who's going to be committing to having green elements in their wedding, they're not doing because it's like, you know, hip and trendy, fashionable. They're doing it because they believe in it and they're passionate about it.
Right. And years ago, you think some of these ideas, they would have been done for economic reasons, not for green reasons. But now we're kind of turning back and going that way.
Well, exactly. And there is a bit of a misconception that a green wedding maybe means a cheaper wedding. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Not in all cases. Not at all. It doesn't mean that it has to cost you the earth, but you may have to spend a little more time finding your vendors. The goods might be a little more expensive because they are specialized. But we are seeing a diversity and a lot more people going green, so it's easier to find things now.
So hopefully in the years down the road it will get a little cheaper. Let's start off with some of our tips, and I guess the number one is maybe for your wedding jewelry, whether it's not buying a new piece of jewelry, but maybe buying an antique one or an heirloom.
Yeah, I mean, and when we talk about green weddings, this is what we're going to talk about in our segment here today, is it's the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. So yes, using an antique wedding band, maybe it's an heirloom item from your family. You can also like have that melted down, redesigned, going to an antique market and finding something, but it's again, you know, repurposing something that's already out there, and we're reducing waste.
Right, right. Number 2 on the list is keeping things local, so not having your guests drive all over the place for the wedding in one spot, reception in another. And
exactly. That's a big trend that's happening anyway. A lot of people are having their ceremony and their reception in the same place. So a good reason, you know, cut it down to a greenway. You can also hire hybrid transportation, which is great, so it cuts down carbon emissions. And the destination wedding, although it's a big trend, that is very costly and very sort of damaging to the environment with fuel costs and all of that. So keeping it local has kind of become a nice, cozy trend again.
And a little bit more affordable in some instances. You think of how much paper you use, whether it's napkins or invitations, place cards, all that kind of thing. Reusing paper is an obvious.
Yeah, using reusable paper for your invitations, great idea. Also for your like save the dates, your whole stationery package. Using something that uses vegetable inks is environmentally friendly. And although it has been a no-no in the past, we are seeing a welcoming of the digital invitation. So in the past, it has been like passé because it's not formal. People don't want to get an email, but again, cuts down on environmental waste. So hire a designer, design something beautiful, and email it out to your guests.
Right, cuts down on postage then as well, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Your centerpieces and your bouquets and things, buying them locally, buying organic.
Yes, buying local, buying organic. You know, you really have to do a little, this requires a little homework with your flowers. Buying flowers in season is key to cut down for your costs and reduce your carbon footprint. So find out what flowers are in season where you live. It cuts the cost of importing, and go with that. Go with organic flowers. I mean, it's relatively simple. That doesn't sound like a lot of rocket science, but it does require some research because we're not all floral experts.
Right, and we're so lucky in this region here with how many greenhouses there are in the Niagara region that you can do that. Centerpieces too, having live plants instead of something that's made up that your guests can take home to reuse and repurpose.
Or even not even having floral centerpieces. Right. Having like a beautiful organic candle or getting a little creative with that.
Okay, and the final one here, we only got 20 seconds for it. Okay. Borrow the wedding dress. We're seeing a lot more of this, actually.
Seeing a ton of this. This is like where the something old, something new, something borrowed comes in. And it's great to use your moms, your grandmothers, your aunts, you know, somebody in the family. Just reuse it. Retool it if it's not your style. You can have a beautiful, you know, item that's an heirloom and a memento.
Okay, excellent. And more hints and tips in Wedding Bells magazine. Also, weddingbells.ca is the website. Allison, thanks so much for coming in. We're back with more news right after this.